but he will take his stand on the summit of Mount Tsyon. You have two options, truth seeker. Option A is Mount Tsyon that they have sold you in Jerusalem, which is 2,510 feet in elevation. Or option B, Lone Peak, Utah, which is 11,260 feet in elevation. My question to you is, do you believe that this book of 2nd Esdras is the truth, or do you believe that it is a lie? Do you believe that the things it says would take place is the truth, or do you believe that it is a lie? I can go ahead and tell you, I can prove to you that it is indeed the truth. I can prove that to you. This isn't speculation. I can actually prove it. I have proved it right here on All Esteem. By using the word summit, that should imply that this is a great mountain that the Son of the Most High that will be revealed would have to climb to the top of, to the summit. As you can see here in the picture of the quote-unquote Mount Tsyon in Jerusalem, it's a knoll, just like the Most High told us in several places, multiple places in the Bible, that his children went from mountain to molehill to knoll. Now, there's some things that I want to reread to you in this chapter 13. And you decide what this channel has offered you. Have I been offering you fantasy or destiny? You decide. When these things happen and the signs that I showed you before take place, then my Son will be revealed, whom you saw as a man rising up. When all the nations hear his voice, how would the nations hear his voice? Would he be on Mount Tsyon yelling and all the nations throughout the world? No, this lets you know that technology would be involved. If all the nations of the world are hearing his voice, he has a mic. Right? Yes. Then each one, when they hear his voice, each one will leave its own region and will leave off the wars they are waging against each other. An innumerable mob will be gathered together, as you saw, wanting to come fight against him. But he will take his stand on the summit of Mount Tsyon. Tsyon will come and will appear to all, built and ready, as you saw a mountain carved without hands. Now, let's go back up here. Let's pause right there. Let's go back to the vision that Ezra saw. He saw all that we just read in a vision. But let's break it down. verse by verse, so you can understand what's being said. And like I said, when I'm done, if you're a actual truth seeker and or you have been listening to the things that I have been saying, when I'm done, you decide what this channel has been offering you. And I stand to tell you right now, truth seeker, it is your destiny if you are a true truth seeker. After 7 days, I had a dream. During the night, I looked and saw a wind rising from the sea and stirring up all its waves. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let you know, spoiler alert, that the wind rising, and this is a dream he had, the wind rising from the sea and stirring up all its waves. What that is talking about is back in the 2000 teens, like 08, 09, 2010, 2011, 12, so on. Around that time is when this messianic, Torah observant movement came about. When more and more people started to call on the real name, search for the Most High's real name, search for the truth about these Babylonian, pagan, wicked holidays, and search the book for the real set apart feast days, the truth about these feast days, and the truth about how we, the things that we've been lied to about. That's that wind that he's talking about, that he saw in his dream. It stirred up all its waves. As I watched, this wind made something like the figure of a man come up out of the heart of the sea. Now the sea is people, just ordinary people. That's why the Most High, throughout his word, when he talks about a righteous man, it's like he describes it as a man being in the middle of the sea, because it's so rare to find someone who is set apart and not following the customs and traditions of the world. He's surrounded by the sea. As I watched, this wind made something like the figure of a man come up out of the heart of the sea. That man was flying among the clouds of heaven. Now, doesn't this sound just like the Messiah telling us that we would see him coming in on the clouds? Now, I've been telling you this for a long time, that is not literal. Where does the word come from? Where does our help come from? It comes from heaven, from the Most High, from above. The clouds represent the truth that comes from the Most High. He was flying among the clouds of heaven. Wherever he turned his face to look. Now, like I said, the question I asked you in the beginning, do you believe this is the truth, or do you believe this is a lie? If you believe this is the truth, you're going to see at the end of this video that what I just said about the clouds of heaven not being literal, you're going to see that that's a fact. That what I just said, that the clouds represent, is indeed the truth. It's not literal. You're not going to see him. Because on down here, when we read how he takes his stand on the summit of Mount Tsyon, the rulers and the kings heard his voice. He was speaking to where all the nations of the world could hear his voice. After they come and take their try to fight against him, and they are defeated, the peaceful nation hear his voice. He calls a peaceful nation to him, to Mount Tsyon. So if that's the truth, then you're not going to see him flying through the sky like Superman. That's not what it means. It's not literal. It's a riddle. Wherever he turned his face to look, everything that fell under his gaze trembled. Now, what do you suppose that means? Do you think that that means anything he looked at started shaking in its boots? Like if he looked at a tree? No. It means the things that were hidden, the truths that were hidden. He saw the truth in so many things. For example, like these faces right here. What about these faces that are on the map? These two faces and the child in between them, between the two. Or the fact that the Pacific was the Great Sea and the Rio Grande is the Great River. And those are our holy, set apart boundaries. And that's exactly what it's talking about. When he says, wherever he turned his face to look, everything that fell under his gaze trembled, that means that he was seeing through the BS. Ever since I've been showing you guys that out here in Utah is the set apart land, look how many videos, channels, people, look how many videos people have made sharing the truth about how we've been lied to about what was here before Columbus got here. That there were cities here, that there was technology here. That's the reason that they hid like the giant skeletons and these mounds and all these things. You're seeing more and more of that every day. People are waking up to the truth that this wasn't the quote-unquote new world full of savages, that there were civilizations here, and that there's proof of that. These great buildings that they supposedly built in like 20 years. People are proving that those buildings were actually already here and that they just founded them. They took over them. How much proof have I showed you that Nebuchadnezzar was from the Great Lakes region? I've shown you documents proving that to you. And I could go on and on. But that's what verse 3 is talking about. At the end of verse 3, when it says, wherever he turned his face to look, everything that fell under his gaze trembled. That means that this person was seeing secret things. He was seeing through the BS. Wherever an utterance came from his mouth, all who heard his voice melted as wax melts when it feels the fire. Like I told you before, that's not literal. That means the people, wherever an utterance came from his mouth, anyone who heard him, they cringe. They can't handle hearing this truth. They don't want to hear it. They think it's nonsense. They want to go on living a lie. They melt away. Just like right here in Joshua chapter 2, verse 9. What a coincidence. 2:9. If you've been keeping up with me, that should be highly significant in your eyes. Not everyone's, but yours definitely. You see how it says that they melted away. It's a figure of speech. As wax when it feels the fire. I kept watching these things, and an innumerable multitude of people came together from the four winds of heaven to fight against the man who had come up from the sea. I watched as he carved a great mountain for himself and flew onto it. That's not literal. This is what he saw in his dream. I tried to see the region or place from which the mountain was carved, but I couldn't. The end of verse 7 right there lets you know, or the entire verse 7 lets you know, that the location of this mountain would be significant. It would be hidden. That verse right there implies that the location of it would be hidden, and us finding the location would be necessary. That there would be an aspect of that it would be crucial in understanding where the location of the mountain, the region, or place was. Now let's go back. Now this is the Most High giving him the interpretation of that dream that he just saw. Tsyon will come and will appear to all, built and ready, as you saw a mountain carved without hands. My Son himself will indict the assembled nations for their impious deeds. Do you know what the word impious means? Right there. It's basically the opposite, the polar opposite of all esteem. These things were indicated by the storm. He will scold them for their evil plans and reveal the torments with which they are about to be tortured. These things correspond to the flame. He will destroy them without effort by the law, which was indicated by the fire. Now, I asked you if you believed that this book of 2nd Esdras was telling the truth. If you go through this whole book, it's only 16 short chapters long. I've read the entire book plenty of times on this channel. Within the last 200 videos, I know I've probably read it 3 or 4 times. But if you go and read it yourself, which is what I encourage you to do, read this for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. If you read this for yourself and then you go read the book of Enoch, you're going to see that both books are telling you what I've been telling you. That the mountain is the ark. After this, I looked and I saw that all who had gathered to do battle against him were sorely afraid, yet they dared to fight. When he saw the rush of the multitude coming, he didn't raise his hand or hold a spear or any weapon of war. Rather, I saw something like a wave of fire shoot forth from his mouth and a breath of flame from his lips. Right here. Verse 12, and after these things I saw the same man coming down from the mountain and calling to himself another crowd, a peaceful one. Many people came to him, some were rejoicing and some were sad, some were even tied up, while some were bringing other people as an offering. So, if you believe that this is the truth, then verse 12 and 13 eliminates a rapture, and it gives you the understanding that you're gonna have to move your feet. You're gonna hear this Son calling to you, if you're peaceful, if you are a true seeker, calling to you to come to Mount Tsyon. You're gonna have to come here. But if you go read this entire book and Enoch, then you see the truth that it's telling you, that this would take place, that they would hide the mountain, They would move from mountain to molehill, and that they would sell you this replica, this phony, this imposter, and it would be the image of the beast. When you see that, when you go read the Bible, all the prophets, every prophet, you're going to see, and Revelations, you're going to see that it's all about coming to Tsyon, to the mountain. And the whole reason it was hidden was to gather all the phony, all the pretenders, those people with their impious deeds, to be destroyed, and call, it would be used to call all the real truth seekers, those who love the Most High, who give Him and Him alone all esteem. If you can't come to the mountain, your deeds are impious. You're not willing to bow in reverence and in awe of Him. If you come here and you do bow down in reverence, giving Him all esteem, that means that you're a part of this peaceful crowd that will make it. Just like chapter 14 of Revelations tells you, you're going to be a part of that group, in that category, standing on Mount Zion. Those people are the only people in these latter days that are going to survive. Till next time, True Seeker.